A lot of fans are wondering, where in the world is AJ Styles, one of the biggest stars on Friday Night SmackDown, nowhere to be found on the blue brand. Where is AJ Styles? Is he coming back to WWE? Or is he headed to AEW? I got all the latest on where the phenomenal one is right here on Off the Script. Alexa Bliss may be making her return to WWE. Where and when? I got the news on that. The War Raiders, like I mentioned on Monday Night Raw with this cryptic vignette that aired on Raw. The War Raiders may be back in the WWE. And a major bombshell development with the Young Bucks and Shane McMahon. Is Shane McMahon really headed to AEW? All this and so much more right here on today's Off the Script. We will start with AJ Styles. At a time when WWE has been able to sign talent to new contracts, one WWE superstar will have to decide whether he wants to stay or if he wants to go. Styles has been off WWE television since putting over Cody Rhodes at Clash at the Castle in June. Following that, AJ Styles worked a Pro Wrestling Noah event and worked shows as part of WWE's Japan tour in July and the European tour in August. Now, in early August, it was reported that Styles was initially planned for an early August episode of SmackDown. However, plans changed as it was reported that WWE planned to bring him back to TV ahead of Bash in Berlin. But WWE didn't have that happen. Instead, he's reportedly healthy and just waiting to be used. Fightful Select is reporting that those that they've spoken to are of the belief that Styles' WWE contract is up either late this year or early next year. It's unclear whether Styles plans to leave or if the two sides have even talked. It was said that numerous influential names within the industry and some who have worked with Styles believe it's up this year. Fightful has been told that Styles is enjoying time home with his family while waiting on WWE Creative. This is a really sticky one, honestly. Now, the first thing I want to call attention to is the fact that Fightful put in their report, it was said that numerous influential names within the industry and some who have worked with Styles believe it's up. The contract is up this year. Now, if AJ Styles, I'm thinking out loud, don't mind me. If AJ Styles is happy, and he's happy with his position in WWE, I don't think it's any of anybody's business what his contract status is or when his contract expires with World Wrestling Entertainment. The fact that numerous influential names within the industry and some who have worked alongside Styles believe it's up this year tells me, logically, that Styles has been talking to those close to him and that he's murmuring that his contract is up. And if someone does that, in my opinion, then that means that they're interested in possibly seeking employment elsewhere. That maybe there has been discussions amongst him and his closest confidants that he may be looking to test free agency to see if he could make more money and to potentially go and wrestle people that at this stage of his career, this may be the last opportunity for him to go and do that. That's just the way that I look at it. That's on one hand. On the other hand, if I'm WWE, if I'm Triple H, if I'm anybody in that company that works in a creative manner, AJ Styles, you don't want to let someone like that walk. It is just absolutely fucking ludicrous to me that you employ someone like AJ Styles and don't want to bring him back to television. I find that to be ridiculous. I don't think there's anybody out there that is willingly paying AJ Styles a yearly salary, has his name on the payroll. I can't see that company or that employer saying, hey, you know what? We're just going to let him walk, man. There's no use for AJ Styles. I don't get it. And then on the third aspect of all this discussion, if WWE really wanted to use AJ Styles on SmackDown of all fucking shows, which right now is lacking depth, You bring AJ Styles back to fucking television. What are they waiting for? You mean to tell me you can't bring AJ Styles back to television in a meaningful aspect? If you wanted to do that, you'd be able to write him into the show. Just like how Triple H, if he wanted to use Ricochet and keep Ricochet, he had every opportunity to push Ricochet the way he wanted to push Ricochet, the way the fans wanted him to push Ricochet. But no, Ricochet said, hey man, peace out, I'm going to AEW. I got this date with Will Ospreay, and I'll see you guys later. Or anybody else for that matter that is in that category. So it's a really sticky situation. I don't know which way AJ is going to swing. WWE, and this could be said for every free agent possibly coming up, Kevin Owens or whoever else is coming up with a contract year in WWE, or even so, those names on the AEW side that potentially want to make a jump to WWE. This is not the same WWE that Vince was running. There is going to be less house shows in 2025. There is more priority with keeping the men and women that are employed there home with their families, more R&R, and it's not as rigorous as it used to be, with the company making more money now than they ever have in their entire history, selling out shows left and right all year long. This is a different WWE. The rigors of the road aren't going to be that much of a burden if you want to say, you know what, I think WWE may be right for me today, or right for me at this stage of my career. AJ Styles, what would AJ Styles want as far as, you know, him being one of the best professional wrestlers today, still at his age? WWE is going to be willing to pay him. They have every asset and they have the monetary funds to pay AJ Styles. So does Tony Khan. So I'm sure that there will be a bidding war, and that's exactly what AJ Styles or someone like AJ Styles wants in his position, a bidding war, right? Because he's worth every fucking penny, if you ask me. What is it going to come down to? Is it going to come down to money? I mean, they're both going to be bidding for him. He's going to make bank. Is it going to be creative? I don't know what AJ wants. Drew McIntyre signed in the 13th hour. I mean, look at what happened with him. He wanted solid creative for himself, and now look at what they got going on with him. He has had a career banner year for himself. Does AJ want something like that? Maybe he doesn't want that. Maybe he just says, you know what? I'm 45 years old, and I'm getting up there. I don't have much time left. I want my match with Kenny Omega. I want my match with Will Ospreay. I want my match with so-and-so over in AEW. I think I'm going to make the jump over there. And if I'm Tony Khan, I mean, I'm throwing fucking the vault at AJ Styles. I don't give a shit what it takes. Maybe that's what he wants. I don't know what he wants. I know if I'm WWE, though, which right now is his employer, you are doing everything possible to see what the fucking guy wants, how much it's going to take, and set some creative on the foundation for him so that he may get back to Friday night. That's what I want. If I'm AJ Styles, that's what I want. I don't know why that hasn't been done yet. Well, nobody really knows if that's been done. Nobody even knows if they've been talking yet. But if AJ is throwing it out there to numerous influential names and people that have worked with Styles believe it's up this year, that means AJ's talking, which means, on top of that, that AJ potentially may be interested in testing free agency. And you don't want it to get to that point. You don't. So let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think AJ's staying? Same thing with KO. We talked about this last week. Is KO staying? Is KO going? Is AJ staying? Is AJ going? I mean, that would be an unbelievable 1-2 combo if Tony Khan can lure AJ and Kevin Steen, away from WWE. It's going to be a very interesting year for free agency in 2025. And some AEW talent are going to be shifting gears over to WWE. This is going to be why AEW being around is healthy for the business. It's going to be a very, very interesting year. Moving on, Alexa Bliss. Fans looking to see Alexa Bliss back on WWE TV might have to wait until 2025. Bliss took to social media this week and teased her return when she posted, "Don't worry, darling, I'll see you soon enough." However, don't take that as a tease for something in the near future, because PW Insider reports that WWE creative sources say that she's not scheduled for an immediate return. The source said that her return is not expected until the holiday season, which means that we won't see her until 2025, the earliest. The source added that the current creative regime looks to maximize everything that they do, and right now there's no need to rush anyone onto TV. For what it's worth, there was a Lily doll shown in the background during a backstage segment with the Judgment Day on Monday Night Raw. Now, I don't know what that means. I mean, that was there for a reason. You know, Triple H doesn't really do anything like that for just bullshit reasons. There's a reason behind everything that they do. Just like when you see someone in the background during a backstage promo. Oh, who's that? You know, we've seen certain aspect. Nikki Cross, once upon a time, floating around back there, looking off into the distance. We've seen when MVP was there before he jumped ship to AEW. Him, you know, talking to the Hurt Business when they were trying to maybe potentially bring them back to WWE TV. Triple H has done a very good job of throwing in some Easter eggs on Monday and Friday night. He doesn't want to rush anybody back to television. I would say someone like Alexa Bliss could absolutely be an immediate impact for the WWE Women's Division. I don't know where she would fit in, but if WWE is content with what's going on right now because they have what they got in Rhea and Liv, and then they have Tiffany Stratton with Charlotte Flair coming back and Nia, that isn't really all that interesting on Friday night, but the Rhea and Liv storyline is carrying the women's division on Monday Night Raw. I don't know where she would fit in. Maybe they wait till that Monday Night Raw where the debut happens on Netflix to bring her back because they want surprises. That would be a great surprise. That would be a great return for Alexa Bliss. Or maybe we just wait until the Royal Rumble. I know that's in February. It's a long ways away. But maybe they just wait for Alexa Bliss to make her return in the Royal Rumble. I don't know. Now, I saw some training videos on social media with Alexa Bliss, and she looked very good. I don't know why WWE, maybe this was a Vince thing. I don't know how Triple H is going to handle Alexa Bliss. I don't know why she comes off so much more athletic and so better in the training videos than she does in the ring. I don't know. I mean, if she does what she does in the training videos, or a little bit of what she does in the training videos, I don't think fans would really complain about it. She's athletic. I'd like to see her come off a little bit different in this return. She's obviously a major name. She's got a lot of equity in the WWE. But nobody knows where she's going to fit in. Is she going to be the old Alexa Bliss that we saw, who was a very, very good heel in her own right? Is she going to rejoin the Wyatt family? Is she going to kind of jump back into the Wyatt lore? I don't know. But whatever they use her for, she's going to be a valuable asset to that women's division, which right now could be looking at some major changes. SmackDown goes to 3 hours, she'd fit right on SmackDown. If SmackDown goes to 3 hours and Monday Night Raw reverts back to 3 hours, we could see mid-card titles in WWE in the women's division. Maybe we get an Intercontinental Championship or a United States Championship in the women's division. That would be perfect for someone like Alexa Bliss. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they bring her back to television, but the report says they're looking to maximize everything they do and no rush getting anyone back to television. So it's got to be a major moment. We'll see what happens for Alexa Bliss. I'm sure you guys are very, very excited about her potential return to WWE. We talked about this on Monday because it immediately jumped off the page to me when I saw this Viking vignette / promo air on Monday Night Raw. Fans could expect a tag team to make its glorious return to WWE television with a different name. They may be undergoing a name change. That team is the Viking Raiders. Eric has been sidelined since undergoing successful neck fusion surgery last November, while Ivar was sidelined earlier this year with spinal injuries. Now, they were previously known as the War Machine while working New Japan and Ring of Honor before signing with WWE in 2018. There, they started as the War Raiders in NXT, which were fucking awesome. They were so fucking cool. And they, believe me when I say it, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, or if you guys don't know what I am referencing here, please go out and watch it. The War Raiders versus Ricochet and Malachi, or Aleister Black, in the opening match of TakeOver New York, NXT TakeOver New York. That was the show where Johnny Gargano beat Adam Cole in the main event for the World Championship. That tag team match is one of the greatest tag team matches in company history. Unbelievable. Just an unbelievable atmosphere, unbelievable environment. They were a part of it. If they could get back to that glory, oh my goodness, man, the tag team division is getting some solid muscle. The War Raiders. Then they changed their name to the Viking Experience. Thanks, Vince. Anybody that is missing Vince McMahon, you got some mental fucking problems. He named him after a goddamn fucking ride at Disney World. The Viking Experience, and then later the Viking Raiders, when called up to the main roster. WrestleVotes Radio confirms that the mystery Fate is Woven video that aired on Raw is for the Viking Raiders, which is slated to return as the War Raiders. There you go. We talked about it on Monday. It only made sense. Joey Votes, one half of WrestleVotes. Shout out to Joey Votes. It is the return of the Viking Raiders, but TC, can you allude to what's special about this, as maybe it won't be the Viking Raiders? Yeah, the Viking Raiders have gone over a number of name changes over the years, from NXT up to the main roster with the Viking Experience at first, and now the Viking Raiders. But now that the person in charge, who was not a big fan of War Raiders, is out of the way, I think you're going to see the return of the name The War Raiders as the tag team for Eric and Ivar, as they are both ready to go and return back to the main roster. And then Joey Votes ends off with, yes, we've heard that is the plan for now. When both these men are healthy and ready to go, which is somewhat soon, I believe they will be presented again as the War Raiders. I can't wait, man. Tag team wrestling in WWE could look different. War Raiders, the Lucha Brothers, the Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, the Street Profits, the Creeds, the Wyatts. I mean, they got some great fucking tag teams in WWE, man. Let's all package it together and make sense of it. Really. I'd love to see them just give us one set of championships between both shows, and then we are good to go. War Raiders are coming back. I can't wait to see what happens there. And finally, I'm going to throw this picture up there. You see it right there. 3 very interesting individuals, man, especially the man in the middle right there, as you know, is Shane O'Mac. The Young Bucks had a run-in with Shane McMahon this week. I don't know, man. Does Shane McMahon live at the fucking airport? This is not the first time that he's had a run-in with someone that works in AEW at the fucking airport. This comes after AEW President Tony Khan met with Vince. No, he's not meeting with Vince, with Shane. Met with Shane at a private Arlington airport earlier this year. McMahon has tried to return to the WWE in the past, but those in the promotion have no interest in him returning. Talent in WWE believes Shane will at least make an appearance in AEW, and while appearing on the Sedano and Cap podcast, the AEW president was asked about this meeting with Shane McMahon, and he says, and I quote, "Well, as I understand, he's not doing anything with WWE, and I had a really nice visit with him. I heard from a lot of people that he was interested in talking, and it had become, frankly, a big media story to the point where I was getting asked on record questions about it, and I answered nothing of them." You know, he didn't really say that. He said he answered them just like I'll answer you now, in advance of. I never met with him, and my first conversation with him was great. There was a lot of buzz about this. I thought it would certainly be worth talking, and I have a lot of respect for him. I'd never met him, but he seemed like a really nice guy. I sat down with him. He was fantastic. I really enjoyed talking with him. He is very smart about wrestling, and I thought he was a great guy. Tony Khan should be the fucking spokesman for Frosted Flakes. They're great. Yeah, it's the favorite fucking word. I was down there in Dallas, and he was in Dallas. And I wonder why. We have a lot of mutual friends, and we both happen to be in Dallas. A mutual friend linked us up, who was one of the bigger names in pro wrestling, and that friend put us in a group chat. I had a really nice talk, and I really enjoyed visiting with him. Clearly, there was a lot of interest in it. Somebody in the middle of talking at an airport conference room, somebody just busted in and took the photo. Yes, because you wanted them to, Tony. This was all a fucking setup. Nobody's going to walk in and say, "Oh, man, I'm sorry," and then not, they're not going to bust in with the camera. "Hey, guys, how you doing?" Yeah, smile. Now, this was all premeditated. If someone busts in, not knowing that 2 participants in this case are meeting, then you're going to walk out and say, "Oh, excuse me," and go about your business. You're not going to barge in and then have your phone and your camera all ready to go, man. Give me a fucking break with this nonsense. "I think that's fine," he said. "I enjoyed the conversation, and there's nothing wrong with a couple of people getting together talking about wrestling. That's part of what makes wrestling so great. There's a lot of talk right now, and we're all fans at heart. It's a big thing. It's exciting. It's nice to talk to him. I don't know what's to come, but it's an exciting time in AEW. And you guys want to see the picture again? There you go, with Shane McMahon and Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the AEW Tag Team Champions. Listen, this is not the first time that this happened. Now, I know the Bucks are very good at taking what people are talking about and taking current events and kind of making fun of them and trolling fans about it and kind of mocking it and putting it in their Twitter header. Fine. We all know that they are that way. That's what the Elite is. I mean, they made a YouTube career based off, that type of campy comedy, trolling, and humor, and kind of making light of certain situations that their fan base, is talking about, whether it's news, rumors, innuendo, whatever the case may be. So, again, if you want to take it with a grain of salt, then by all means, I don't blame you. Take it with a grain of salt. This is not the first time. I mean, does Shane live at the fucking airport? He met with Tony in Arlington. Before that, never mind that, he met with Mercedes at the fucking airport. I mean, that's it's quite the coincidence. Newly acquired AEW TBS champion Mercedes Moné at the same airport that Shane McMahon is at. And they met there and they had a conversation. Is she the name that linked Shane and Tony up? I don't know. Could be. Has anybody asked that question or insinuated about that? I don't know. So that was number one. Then we get the Arlington Airport meeting with Tony Khan and Shane McMahon, which looked very staged and very blatant. They wanted you to know what was going on there. Tony's not meeting with Shane to say, hey, man, what was your favorite match at In Your House 1997, man? Give me a fucking break. Are you kidding me? How do you feel about Hulk Hogan's title run back in 1985? Whatever the fuck they were. You think they're talking about wrestling history at the fucking Arlington Airport? Give me a break, man. Nobody's sitting there talking pro wrestling when there's money to be fucking made, you geeks. Tony can sit and talk pro wrestling all he wants. He doesn't need to meet with someone like this in person to talk about professional wrestling. He could have kept it to the group text only. That was meeting number 2. Now you want to throw this picture out there and put Matthew and Nicholas Jackson with Shane McMahon at the airport. Sure, Shane lives in New York. Sure, Shane was probably on his way somewhere and flew out of LaGuardia. Sure. But this is the third instance, man. All right, one time, it's all right. Maybe it's just a very rare situation. Hey, man, they bumped into each other, Shane and Mercedes. The second one, I'm like, all right, man, something fishy's going on. Now the third one, this is as blatant as all of them. What is he talking to the Young Bucks about? What flight is he taking the same flight as the Young Bucks? If they are, what the fuck do you think they're talking about? They're talking about creative. Shane's coming in. They want you to know Shane's coming in. We just don't know when or where he's coming in, but he's coming in. This is them letting you in on their little secret. They want you to know Shane is coming. They all do this. Everybody in AEW does this shit for a buzz. It's all they know how to do. They can't keep anything secret. They want you to know. They need for this to happen because they got nothing else going on for them right now. They want you to know Shane's coming in. They want to create that buzz. Is it going to happen at the 5-year anniversary show in 2 weeks? Is it going to happen at Wrestle Dream? Is it going to happen at Full Gear? I don't fucking know. Is he aligned with Jon Moxley? Is he aligned with MVP, who made his debut last night on AEW Grand Slam Dynamite? Bobby Lashley's coming in. Is Shane coming in with Bobby Lashley? Shelton Benjamin's coming in. Is he going to be aligned with the Hurt Syndicate? I don't fucking know. There's a lot of back and forth here, man. A lot of fans are speculating. This is what they want. Quite frankly, it's what they need to happen. They got zero going on for them right now. I'm interested if that means anything to you guys. This is exactly what we need on Wednesday nights. If Shane's coming in, I can't wait to see what he does and what he brings to the table for All Elite Wrestling. But this photo, this is absolutely 100% a guarantee that Shane McMahon's coming into AEW. That's my honest opinion. They're not going to put this thing out there for a third time to get people talking and then not deliver. He's coming in. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, turn on the bell for notifications. If you guys want to go check out all the other content on the channel, there's plenty of it. We're live on Monday for Raw, Tuesday for TNT with the Silent Monster, episode 67, Wednesday night, last night with Jesse for the AEW Dynamite Grand Slam post. And I got this one going up today, and then I'll see you guys live on Friday night with Friday Night SmackDown right here on Off the Script. And please don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way out. If you liked the video, like the video. And please leave me a comment down below, man. It could be anything. Leave me your favorite emoji so that we get that engagement up, man. If you got nothing credible to add to the conversation, leave me a fucking emoji, man. Leave me your favorite emoji down below. Helps me out along the way. Until then, guys, I'll see you live back in New York, back on Off the Script with Friday Night SmackDown right here on OTS. I'll see you guys later.